to celebrate December. So I'm so excited. We have a giveaway this month. And if you'd like to enter the giveaway, all you have to do is answer on any of the videos posted in December the answer to this question. What life lesson taught you how to love yourself? The winner of this question will get a energy manifesting session with me announced on December 28th. The winner of this question on the Patreon community, so go on to Patreon, Reiki Healing Hope, will win a spot in the 2022 Reiki Master Teacher cohort. I'm so excited. Also, check your girl out. All of these sessions can be heard on Tidal, Apple, all kinds of little music stuff. Look out for the weekly moon cycle readings on Array Tarot, as well as the podcast Organize Your Purpose and all this other stuff that we be doing. And Reiki Healing Hope speaks for all of the non-ASMR Reiki. So I'll see you soon. Welcome back, family. Welcome to the Reiki Healing Hope community, a place to heal, relax, be yourself, and be surrounded by those who want to see you blossom and or bloom, blossom and or bloom. I am Jessica Sup, but I also go by Chad, a Reiki Master Teacher and Intuitive, and today we have a special healing session. It is all about embracing the change. So welcome to Celebrate December. Love this. This is a time of celebration for this entire year and for yourself and on this journey. So I want you to embrace just enjoying the moment. Be careful for this Venus and Capricorn and retrograde energy that is showing up, because it might want to play a little trickster energy on you. But with Mars going into Sagittarius and leaving Scorpio, I think that you're going to feel a lot more free in general. So I just want to give you that little bit of tea to put on you before we get started in the session. So if you're new to the community, welcome, babies. This is your nightly self-care routine. So babies, you do whatever it is you need to do. Sometimes people like to do creative things and they like to use it to help them focus and study and things like that, or just relax and enjoy the actual session itself. So this is your time. It is a part of your self-care journey. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. And for all my babies returning, welcome back. Mama loves you. If you would like extra support, you can join us on the Patreon community, and there's some fun stuff too, like the weekly moon cycle readings on Array Tarot, the podcast Organize Your Purpose, and Reiki Healing Hope Speaks. Have you all noticed that? Which is non-ASMR Reiki. So if you'd like to share it with your friends who are not into ASMR, or you would like to, talk about these things and not always hear me whisper, that's great for that. And all the other stuff, like you can listen to these sessions on Spotify and Apple Music and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and get started. So, as we start our session off with a prayer. It is not a religious prayer. It's just a prayer to root us in our individual healing experience and bring us together as community. And because consent matters, do I have your permission to say a prayer? Beautiful. May I touch you? Lovely. Okay, take a couple breaths here. Breathe into this. Okay. Dear universe, and all for the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to our highest intentions and validate information from our highest self only. Please release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I am. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. So let your Ashe or your Chi or your life force energy, these are different examples across the different traditions to explain this vital energy that we have within us. So let your life force energy be nice and full and balanced, doing what it understand them in another area. It'll just have different language. So whenever there's an imbalance in a person's energy, that typically shows up as something that looks like an illness or a sickness, or in general just not feeling well. And it's really working to kind of go backwards and figure out how to piece together a place of alignment within the body. So you can see a practitioner like me, or you can work on yourself. And I think that's even more beautiful, being able to work on yourself. And this is what this self-care journey and self-care community is all about. So now we are today going to be embracing the change. So I'm going to be working on your energy. You know, I do talk a lot because I like to talk, okay? And typically I'll talk you through it while I'm working on your energy too. So as we work through embracing this change, this gives you definitely an opportunity to reflect on your year. How'd it go, baby? How'd it go, sweetheart? How did the year go? What did you discover? What did you learn? It was very much so a reorganizing of the energy, a recalibrating, something that should have happened a long time ago. Some path that had been derailed or stuck had been reshuffled and recentered. So wherever you're at is exactly where you're supposed to be at. It's actually where you were supposed to be at before. And the universe reorganized the energy in a way so that you would get there regardless of what decisions you made. I often see people very nervous to make the wrong decision. I don't want to make the mistake. Let me tell you something. There's no mistake. There's no wrong decision. You're going to get there regardless. And if you really fuck this shit up, the universe will reorganize it and get you there anyway. Okay? So don't worry about having to know all the answers or everything having to be perfect. Just go with it. Go with it and flow with it. It's much more exciting to learn and to grow during times where you don't know anything about anything. Because that's when you're the most open and the most vulnerable and the most receptive to actually growing, instead of just trying to be the same person you've always been. You feel me? Okay. So I want you to breathe through this energy here and take a couple of moments. And I'm just going to move through maybe some stagnant energy that is around you. Me and my sister Refocus, definitely check out our session that just came out on Refocus's channel, REPOCUS. We did a deck review, as well as she came on a Ray Tarot. We did the weekly moon cycles. We were talking about when we are channeling, or when we are using our intuitive skills, or we're going and doing different kinds of practices, even going into spell work and things like that, you know, to be mindful of the energy around you. And she explained it in one way and I explained it in another way, and we went into depth on the Patreon community. So if that's something you're interested in hearing about, you can head on over there to listen to the full session. But as we talked about these things, it just reminded me of how so many times people are not aware of the energy they're vibrating at or what is around them. Now, principles that we talk about in healing. So, for me, I'm an energy healing practitioner. So I utilize these principles in order to help people heal. You can take these same principles and use it to manifest. You can take these same principles and use it to do not so good things too. But be mindful, if you do not so good things, they always come back to you. So that's your own stupidity if you do that. But all of these things, with great power comes great responsibility, and everyone has access to this stuff. It's just really deciding, if you want to do the work to learn what it feels like, and how to utilize these things for yourself to help you along this journey, and what that looks like. There's so many times where I'll meet people and I can tell, especially people who are not in these kind of mystical communities, I can see what's going on with them, and I can see how they're in their own way, but I know that they're not in touch with themselves energetically to understand how to derail their patterns. And you don't have to be mystical or spiritual to be able to break a pattern. You just have to break a pattern. But when you start to understand what's happening, and it doesn't have to be in a mystical way, you can do it through common sense too. Common sense, I'm telling you, common sense is underrated because it'll take you far in life, baby. It really will. Even with common sense, you could say no. I say no to what's not working for me, and I say yes to things that are working for me. That's what the change is about. That's how you embrace, baby, sweetness, what works for you. That's all it is. Just say no to what's not and say yes to what is. But here's the thing. When you're so used to something, you're so used to a pattern, what's not working for you is familiar. So you'll confuse yourself and think that it is home or it is the right way. No. Your life isn't just happening to you. You're going through life and you're co-creating the life you want. So when you break a pattern, you gotta be able to say no and start saying yes to the things that are better for you, even if they feel like in the moment, like, ooh, this is scary. Which it'll look like that because you don't know. Whenever you don't know how something is going to turn out or how it's going to end, it could be scary. But that's where growth happens. That's where healing happens. That's where manifesting happens. So within this community and a lot of the things that we talk about and we work through, or if you're just simply enjoying the session, it helps to guide you on this path of co-creating your life. Life isn't happening to you. You co-create it. Even this life now, you're co-creating it. It's not just happening to you. You're not a victim. You're not in a position where, other people, it'll work out for them and it's not going to work out for you. No, that's not true. You create whatever reality. So if that's what you think, that's what you'll be at. But if you think whatever life that I want will be, if I believe in this life, internally, eventually, externally, it will show up. That's really how it works. And you know what? Look, let me tell you, it ain't that complicated. Common sense is underrated. Hard work and determination. Literally just having those two, you don't even have to work in the energetic way at all. But sometimes using these energetic principles helps us understand what's going on, especially when you hit a difficult time where it's like the heartbreak of transitioning on and letting something go. Whether it is an old hobby, an old passion, you're leaving a hometown, you're letting people go, you're moving away from your old sense of identity. That could be painful, but the pain isn't telling you to go backwards. It's just letting you know. It eventually becomes bittersweet. This is the process. This is how you know that those people, situations, circumstances were important at a time, but now you're going on to something bigger and greater and more expansive. So the pain is simply just a validation to say that whatever that was mattered. But that's not a good enough reason to stop yourself from going and propelling forward. Does that make sense? These are the concepts, babies. These are the concepts. So breathing through this. Now I want you to just go through some breaths and go through your chakra system all the way from the crown let's cleanse that out. Just this beautiful cleansing energy flowing through the body, flowing through it, and embracing your next chapter, embracing your change that's showing up. And even if it's tough, finding the glimmer of hope or the glimmer of light somewhere in that energy and holding on to it. And just breathing through that energy. Breathing through that energy. Breathing through that energy. And resting and letting it be. And allowing that to fill up those spaces in your energy and your heart. And just allow it to rest and be what it is. Rest and be what it is. Rest and be what it is. Breathing in and out and moving through that, embracing this lovely energy and flowing and floating through it, knowing that the change is important, is patient, is nurturing, is kind, is persistent, and things take time. 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 They take time to heal. They take time to grow. And my favorite, which is taking time for clarity. That's my favorite. All of that matters, and all of that growth is there for you at any time and any moment. Well, family, you did a fantabulous job per usuals, and really sitting with this energy of embracing this change that's floating around you. Quick little reminder, like I was talking about, that Venus and Capricorn retrograde energy happening on December 19th. We're already in the pre-shadow period, so like you're already starting to feel it. On a Ray Tarot, I called it the season of the X's, but it's really not about that. It's really about these big concepts that we're talking about, like, the conversation of what is marriage, right? You know what I'm trying to say? So like, is the structure of marriage something that we should allow to be the same? Should we redefine partnerships? Like these big macro view conversations of things. Also, it is bringing out the energy of like a decade of the way that you have loved it coming to an end. So you're embracing a new wave of love, and you're letting go of that old wave. And it really is about kind of like that bittersweet stuff of like being able to say, okay, bye, this is not working anymore. Embracing this new thing that even though you don't know how it'll work out, it'll work for you. So that's the energy coming up. Also, join play solitaire and you would like to do these trainings, they are available. But for the actual cohort where we meet, I do it once a year because for me it is very important to really see and to work through and be there as all of my practitioners grow, and that's just something that I like to do. Just having that cohort be something very special and once a year. So if you'd like to do that, head on over to the Patreon community for that. Well, family, if no one has said it, let me go ahead and say it to you, babies. All the things that I typically say, you know what I'm saying,